Okay, I just wanted to make a little quick video with my thoughts on the new Google Pixel 3a and 3a XL. Overall, I think these are pretty underwhelming. $479. The 3a XL. I'm a large screen. Like, I want the flagship large screen. So I would only consider the XL with the 6.0 inch screen. The Pixel 3a has a 5.6 inch screen, and the Pixel 3a XL has a 6.0 inch screen. The Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus I'm currently rocking, as they say, has a 6.2 inch screen. So actually, the Pixel 3a XL screen might be as big because it might not be as high of an aspect ratio. That makes a big difference. Like a 16.9 or 16 by 9 6.0 inch screen is a lot bigger than an 18.5 by 9 6 inch screen. So the 6 inch screen of the Pixel 3a XL, depending on the aspect ratio, may be as big as the S8 Plus screen. I'm not sure. Now that I think about it, that might be a good point. But just off the bat, I'm not being too impressed with these. Well, I'm glad to have better unlocked, lower priced options in the United States. We don't have a lot of them. You know, there's all kinds of Pocophone F1 and Huawei and Xiaomi and this and that in China, but there's precious little that actually comes to the States. It's actually really annoying. And Trump's not helping it any with his BS against Huawei and so on. I wish there were more Huawei phones available here in the States. But yeah, so the Google Pixel 3, I'm always a phone nerd. I'm always watching phones. I'm always wanting to get a new phone. Wasting money basically because my current Samsung S8 Plus is fine. But the Pixel 3a and the Pixel 3a XL are not grabbing me enough because like I said, the screens are too small. I just don't see the price performance ratio because the Pixel 3a XL, which is the only one I would consider, the 3a XL with the 6 inch screen, $479. You know, I'm also looking at the OnePlus 7 Pro that's about to come out or something like that. You know, you might as well get that. It's supposedly rumored to be $699 for the 6 gigabytes, $749 for the OnePlus 7 Pro. You know, you're getting a little more screen, better specs. The Pixel 3a only has 4 gigabytes RAM, whereas the OnePlus phones have 6 gigabytes and up. And the processor in the Pixel 3a is actually pretty good. It's a Snapdragon 670, I believe, which is just below. I looked up the Geekbench. It's not far below a Snapdragon 835, which is what my S8 Plus has. It was the flagship CPU of a couple years ago. 2 generations ago, really. Like the S8 had the Snapdragon 835. It's just a little below that, so it's pretty dang good. But you know, you're still getting 4 gigabyte RAM, which is a little. All the hot new flagships are running 6 or 8 now. And then, looking online, apparently there's lag issues with the Pixel phones, which I find really, really weird because, you know, the whole point of the Pixels is, oh, they got this light Android. They don't have this big, heavy skin on them. They're just running stock Android. Oh, it's so light. You know, that's all the propaganda you heard. But apparently there have been a lot of lag issues in the past and such with Pixel. And I saw somebody comparing the Pixel 3a to the Pixel 3, the regular Pixel 3 non-A version, and he was showing that the apps open a lot slower on the Pixel 3a and stuff, and he was saying it's because of the CPU. I don't even believe that, because there's just, you know, there's not that much difference in power, and a 670 level CPU should be more than plenty. I mean, there's phones way, way, way less powerful processors than that are pretty smooth, you know. So I really don't see it as a processor. So I don't know what it is. Somebody was saying that I have no idea if this is true. It's probably not, but I saw one random comment that was like, well, there's some sort of health well-being software on the Pixel, And he's saying that monitors every little thing you're doing, so it's constantly causing the phone to lag. So turn that off. So maybe that's one of the reasons why the pixels seem to be laggy. I don't know, but it's pretty weird, like I said, that you wouldn't expect the performance issues if it's running stock Android, and the whole point of stock Android is to be light and fast. But I will say it's good to have another option, you know, and it's good to have another quality, cheap option. The reviews I've seen are doing their usual annoying stuff about, oh, it doesn't have wireless charging. You know, these phone reviewers get on my nerves so bad with this, like, wireless charging thing. Like, stop. Like, you should be freaking smacked every time you mention wireless charging. Shut up. I don't care, you know? I don't care. Shut your mouth. Oh, it gets on my nerves so bad. All they ever talk about, oh, it lacks wireless charging. Oh, I'm a phone snob. I've got another video about this where the reviewers get on my nerves so bad with how snobby they are, you know, because the reviewer, if you're a professional reviewer, first of all, you're rich if you're at the top of the food chain anyway. Second of all, even if they're not rich, by virtue of being reviewers, they get sent all the good stuff. So they're used to high-end phones all day, so they just turn their nose up at low anything that's like even 1% less than low, you know, the highest end. It's just so annoying. But it's just my pet peeve that, like, wireless charging, you know. I've looked into wireless charging. I don't even know if it's good. I have a wireless charger and I use wireless charging and I like it, but it's not a big freaking deal to plug a power cable in. Stop, reviewers. Stop. Stop bringing that up. Good grief. This reminds me of cameras. You know, reviewers talk so much about cameras, and I always say, like, they don't matter, really. You know, all smartphone cameras kind of look the same, in my opinion. But anyways, off of those tangents, because I have a whole other video about why phone reviewers are annoying and elitist snobs, you know. And they all regurgitate the same stupid points, and this phone, they're all, oh, it doesn't have wireless charging. Out of everything, out of all the stuff on a phone, wireless charging is what you can pick on. You know, and on top of that, like I said, when I first got a wireless charger, I found all this research that implies that maybe they're very bad for a phone. You know, they heat the battery up. Some guy did a study and found, or a little research, I don't know if it's true, but he found that basically they were decreasing the battery life of your phone significantly just because of the way wireless charging works, that it's, basically, if your phone uses like 1% of power to download an update or something, the wireless charging is automatically, it's not using the power from the wireless charger to power the phone. It uses the battery. So the battery goes down like 1%, and then it gets charged back up that 1%. And what that does is over time, all those little 1% overnight add up to a whole lot more cycles on your battery. Whereas he was saying, like, when you plug your phone in, the phone uses the plug-in power to do all its work, updates and so forth. So it's not using the battery over and over and over and over and over all through the night to do its little updates and notifications and all the little crap it's waking up to do. So I don't know. I couldn't pin down whether that was really, you know, and he did some research with some software that, like, you were using, like, you know, 8 times as many battery cycles or something when you use wireless charging. And it's basically going to burn out your battery in 6 months, you know. I don't think that's true because I've used wireless charging for a while and my battery still seems okay, you know, and it was kind of a preliminary thing and there was no, like, final answer. But just that when I Googled, there's all this questions about, is wireless charging even acceptable to use? Is it good? Is it acceptable for your phone's health, you know? You know, there seem to be some questions about that. It does kind of heat up the battery and so forth. I think it's fine, especially because Samsung sells an official wireless charger. That makes me feel better about it. That tells you they pretty much okayed it, and Samsung's not going to okay something that's bad for their phones. But anyways, just a little side rant, pointless rant on the reviewers, how they're snobs and how they talk too much about wireless charging and cameras and things that don't matter, and they're just elitist snobs, and their attitude really gets on my nerves sometimes. But yeah, the Pixel 3a X and 3a XL, honestly, like I said, the only one I'd pick would be the 3a XL. The screen's still too small, and the price is just too close to like a OnePlus 7. that I'm really looking forward to, and it's going to be unveiled in a week here. That's the one I'm really on the lookout for, because that looks incredible to me, the OnePlus 7 Pro. For $749, it's going to have top of the line everything. It may have a poor camera, but I'm the user that doesn't care much about his camera. I don't use my camera much. It's not the end of the world to have a mediocre camera for me. So I guess you could say the trade-offs OnePlus makes are right up my alley, you know. I'm not big on the camera. I am big on the specs, the screen. I want a huge screen. You know, the OnePlus 7 Pro is going to have a 6.6-inch screen. That's fantastic, you know. And it's really going to have top-of-the-line everything. I guess the one thing that bugs me a little is the little pop-up selfie cam it's going to have, which kind of I worry about the longevity of the phone with that. But we'll see how that goes. I think it'll be fine because I don't use the selfie cam really anyway, so what difference does it make? But I hope it doesn't just cause the phone to be structurally not as strong, you know. And I know that the Chinese manufacturers do tend to have quality problems, so it could be an issue, but we'll see about that. I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, the OnePlus 7 Pro is looking where I'm going here. Very excited about it, really. And the Pixel 3a and 3a XL, like I said, I definitely am glad there's more mid-range options in the United States unlocked. There needs to be a lot more of that, and they're going to be definitely quality sets with good build quality. You got Google behind them, but they just don't strike where I'm looking for. Their main essential selling proposition seems to be, hey, get a really good camera on a phone under $500. Okay, that's fine, but it's not, you know, it's not going to sell to me when it doesn't have the RAM, it doesn't have the top flagship CPU, it doesn't have the biggest screen, you know. It's not quite hitting that point, but I'm very glad it's here. And if it could hit some sales, which I don't think the Pixel phones do have sales very often, but if they could get some sales and get that price down a little, I saw the regular Pixel 3a. There's already a deal on it with a $100 gift card, which although somebody was saying in comments also that Google makes you really jump through a lot of hoops to get any gift cards. And so that may be kind of a red herring, you know. Good luck getting your gift card once you actually buy. But right now I think everybody's got a $100 gift card on the smaller 3A version. And I saw one place, BH Photo Online, was giving a 3-month Mint Mobile SIM with it. Basically 3 months of Mint Mobile service with 8 gigabytes data each month. And I'm already on that actual plan, the Mint Mobile 3-month one, and it's pretty decent. So, you know, honestly, that's a really good deal if you can stomach a 5.6-inch screen. You know, the $100 gift card, the Mint Mobile SIM, all that's very nice stuff. So yeah, I don't know what else to really say, but the Pixel 3 XL, the price of the 3a XL is just too close to a OnePlus 7 or some other flagship. To me, if I'm spending $500, I might as well spend $700, you know. And if I'm spending $700, I might as well spend $750. And so yeah, that's where it's at for me. And if I'm spending, you know, or I might as well go either $200 or $300, or I might as well go up to a flagship. I don't know if there's really a place for a $500 phone that comes with distinctly mid-range specs, you know. Because you can get a Moto G7 for $299. That's 6.2-inch screen, good phone. You know, lesser phone for sure, but you can get some Huawei's for cheap. You know, you can get last year's flagships for cheap sometimes. So yeah, that's where I'm at with the Pixel 3. I think it's interesting. I'm glad to have more choices. I'm sure it's a quality phone. If you love the camera, you know, it's going to be all for you. So I think it's great, but it's not quite hitting the sweet spot for me personally. It's a little too expensive. And, you know, for me, it's hitting the point where I'd rather get a OnePlus phone. You know, kind of directed at me with its brawny specs that the OnePlus phones have for just a little more money. But that's just me, or I'd go for something cheaper if I was going for a cheap phone. You know, this is kind of right. To me, it's kind of jack of all trades, master of none, but I think it's a cool phone, and I'm glad it exists.